Dear students, we are going to start our new chapter, adsorption. The Bengali meaning of the term adsorption is odhishoshan. Now, what is the definition of adsorption? The definition of adsorption is the existence of different concentration, mainly higher concentration of a component or any chemical species in the surface than in the bulk is known as adsorption. That means what? That means something is dissolving in a substance. Now, it should have a uniform concentration throughout. But instead of that, you will find that there is a different concentration in the surface rather than in the bulk. So this is known as adsorption. Now here you find that the term in the bracket is written here, the mainly higher concentration. Mainly we find that the substrates which are present in higher amount in the surface, this is generally known as adsorption, but sometimes the reverse thing also happens. When we shall discuss this topic in detail, then we shall find that when the concentration of the substrate in the surface is higher, it is called positive adsorption, and when it is lower, then this is called negative adsorption. Now, likewise, in a solution, if some substance dissolves in other substance, then which is dissolving is called the solute, and in which it is dissolving is called the solvent. Likewise, in case of adsorption, the substance on the surface of which the something is getting adsorbed is called the adsorbate, and the substance which is getting adsorbed is known as the adsorbent. So what are known as adsorbate and adsorbent? The substrate on the surface of which adsorption occurs is the adsorbent. That means adsorption taking place on the surface of that substrate, which is known as the adsorbent. So adsorbent may be a liquid or it may be a solid. As for example, hydrogen is adsorbed on the surface of platinum, or detergents are adsorbed on the surface of water. These are the examples. So in case of detergent adsorbing on the surface of water, the adsorbent is water. On the other hand, when hydrogen is adsorbed on the surface of platinum, then platinum is the adsorbent. And conversely, hydrogen and the detergent are the adsorbates, the substance getting adsorbed. So hydrogen is getting adsorbed, or the detergent molecules are getting adsorbed, and those may be gas, as for example hydrogen, or liquid, as for example detergent. Now, the extent of absorption depends upon few factors. That means the amount of adsorption, that is whether adsorption increases or decreases, on which factors. If the surface area is higher of the adsorbent, then more adsorption will take place. So the nature of this is of the adsorbent and its nature of subdivision. Next, the nature of the adsorbent as well as its pressure, if it is gaseous, or its concentration if it is liquid or solution. That means if the substrate which is getting adsorbed, if it is gaseous, then higher the pressure of the gas, then higher is the amount of adsorption, or if it is it is some liquid or some solution, then the solute particles, the concentration of the solute particles, that means the adsorbate particles, if it is higher concentration, then the more amount of adsorption would take place. And finally, the very important thing is temperature. If it is higher temperature, then it is lower adsorption. So with increase in temperature, adsorption decreases. That is, adsorption is inversely proportional to temperature. That means temperature is the major factor. With its increase, the extent of adsorption decreases. That is, desorption takes place. That is the reverse of adsorption is known as the desorption. Now some experimental facts. You take some salt dissolved in water and you take some detergent dissolved in water. It will be found that with increase in concentration, the surface tension of the electrolytic solution are increasing. On the other hand, the surface tension of the detergent solution is decreasing with increasing concentration. Okay, so the explanation is well made by Gibbs adsorption equation, which we shall learn today. We shall deduce today the Gibbs adsorption equation, where these two things are well explained. Actually, the fact is that the concentration of the adsorbate molecules are higher in case of detergent, this is known as positive adsorption, and lower in case of salt molecules, this is known as negative adsorption. Now the d gamma dc value, that means the rate of change in surface tension with increase in concentration, it is positive in case of salt in water. So this is known as negative adsorption. On the other hand, the rate of change in surface tension with concentration is, if it is negative, then it is called the positive adsorption, which is actually happening in case of detergent dissolved in water. Now we move on to the Gibbs adsorption equation. So let us take a solution where the solvent, there are n molecules, n moles of solvent, n1 moles of solvent, n2 moles of solutes, okay, and the overall surface tension of the solution is gamma, and the surface area is S, capital letter S. Now if you keep the temperature and pressure constant, then what should be the Gibbs free energy of the system of that solution? The free energy of that solution should be n1 moles of solvent, and the free energy at the chemical potential of the solvent is mu1, which is actually delta G by dN1 at constant n2, P and T. On the other hand, mu2, this should be actually mu2. This is typing error, you make it correction, this is mu2, okay. I repeat, this is typing error, this is mu2. Mu2 is dG by dN2 N1 PT. You shall make the correction, okay. Now if mu1 and mu2 are the corresponding chemical potentials of the solvent and the solid molecules, then N1 is the number of solvent, then N1 mu1 is the chemical potential contribution from the solvent. If N2 is the number of solutes, then, and if mu2 is the chemical potential of the solutes, then N2 mu2 is the overall free energy contribution from the solutes, and the free energy contribution from the surface is surface tension into the surface area. That means the surface energy, which is actually the Gibbs free energy at a certain temperature and pressure. So thus we get equation 1 here. Now this is equation 1, it is rewritten here for your convenience. Now to the system, a little amount of solvent dN1 and a solute dN2 are added, as well as the surface area is also increased by ds amount. Therefore the change in free energy is, that means you are increasing a few, you have added a few molecules of the solvent, you have added a few molecules of the solute, and you have increased the surface area a little few amount, very small amount, that means infinitesimal amount. Then what should be the increase in the Gibbs free energy? The increase should be dG at constant pressure and pressure and temperature, and the amount, increase in amount of the molecules of the solvent into chemical potential, increase in number of moles of the solute into its chemical potential, and then increase in the surface area into the surface tension is the overall increase in the potential Gibbs free energy. Okay, this is equation 2. But if you differentiate both sides of equation 1, then you will find this equation dg equal to this 2, this 2 and this 2. Okay, that means both have to be differentiated. Thus we get equation 3, and if you subtract equation 2 from equation 3, then you will get this equation n1 d mu1 n2 plus n2 d mu2 plus sd gamma equals to 0. Thus we get equation 4 here. Now the system is supposed to be divided into two imaginary phases, such as the surface phase and the bulk phase. That means at the surface there are n1 molecules of moles of the solvent and n2 moles of the solute. On the other hand, in the bulk phase there are n1 0 moles of solvent and n2 0 moles of the solute. I repeat, there are n1 dash mole of the solvent in the surface and n2 dash mole of the solute in the surface. On the other hand, there are n1 0 moles of the solvent in the bulk, and there are n2 mole of solute in the bulk, which is overall written here. And so that n1 equal to n1 dash plus n1 0 and n2 equal to n2 dash plus n2 0. That means n1 means the overall number of the solvent molecules, which are contribution from the surface and contribution from the bulk. n2 is the overall number of the solutes, overall number of moles of the solute, which is the contribution from the surface n2 dash and contribution from the bulk, that is n2 0. So let us apply equation 4. What was equation 4 here? This was equation 4, n1 d mu1 plus n2 d mu2 plus S d gamma equals to 0. So this is equation 4, and for your convenience I have rewritten it here. This is equation number 4. Now apply this for the molecules of the surface. Okay, in the surface we have N1 molecules, N1 moles of the solvent and N2 dash moles of the solutes. So for the surface you will get the equation as likewise equation 4, N1 dash d mu 1, N2 dash d mu 2 plus S d gamma. If you go to apply equation 4 for the bulk molecules which has N10 moles of solvent and N20 moles of the solutes, then the S d gamma term would vanish, because this bulk has no surface energy due to absence of surface. So it will have only N10 d mu 1 plus N20 d mu 2, that would be equal to 0, and thus you get equation 5 and 6. Now equation 6, this is equation 6. If you multiply both sides of this equation 6 by the term N1 dash by N10, N1 dash by N10, so N10 would vanish here, it would become N1 dash, and here nothing would vanish, so it will remain N1 dash by N10, d mu 2 equal to 0. So thus we get equation 7 here. So N1 dash d mu 1 plus N20 N1 dash by N1 0. Okay, d mu 2 equals to 0, thus we get equation 7 here. Now from this equation 7, equation 5 again subtracted. This portion is the left hand side are subtracted, the right hand side should be 0, and thus we get equation 8 like this one. Okay, you take again a pen and paper, and with that help you do it yourself, and you will automatically get equation 7. You will find this type of equation yourself. Now if you take d mu 2 term common, then this factor would come into the bracket. Now secondly, this just rearranging them, thus S d gamma, the surface part, is taking the left hand side with the negative sign, then this factor it comes to the right hand side with the positive sign. And now if this d mu 2 is cross multiplicated and taken to the left hand side, and S is taken to the right hand side by cross multiplication, then you will get equation 9. Now take some situations. In the surface there are solid molecules as well as the solvent molecules. Now how many solute molecules are associated with the solvent molecules? Here N1 dash moles of the solvent are associated with N2 dash moles of the solutes. But in the bulk, how many solutes are associated with N1 dash of the solvent? But in the bulk you do not have N1 dash, in the bulk you have N10. So we have to start from N10, and by applying unitary method you can do this. So in the bulk, N10 moles of the solvent are associated with N20 moles of the solutes. Then by unitary method you will find that N1 dash moles of solvent are associated with N20 N1 dash by N10 moles of solutes. So the number of solutes in the surface as well as in the bulk, we get these two parameters. In the surface we have N2 dash, and in the bulk we have N20 N1 dash by N10. So the difference between them is the excess surface concentration. The difference is N2 dash minus this factor is known as the excess surface concentration, and if this excess surface concentration is divided by the overall surface area of the solution, then this is known as surface excess. So the term, this one, is the difference between the number of moles in the solute in the surface and that in the bulk. When this excess surface concentration is divided by surface area, then this is known as the surface excess and is represented by capital letter gamma. Therefore, surface excess is actually the excess surface concentration of the solid molecules per unit surface area of the solution. So their difference in the number of moles divided by the overall surface area, and this is actually, according to equation 9, minus d gamma by d mu 2. So minus d gamma is d mu by d mu 2 is known as the surface excess. This is equation here, minus gamma equal to d gamma by d mu 2. Okay. Now in terms of activity for the solute molecules, their chemical potential, this has the simple thermodynamic equation, mu 2 equal to mu 2 0 plus RT ln A2, where A2 is the activity of the solute. Then again you try it yourself, you will find, taking differentiation both sides, differentiation of this mu 2 0 is a constant and the differentiation would be equal to 0. Then this ln A2, d ln A2 term can be written as dA2 by A2. then take the reciprocal, then you will get this type of equation. Then multiply both sides by d gamma, that means the differentiation of the surface tension, then you will get equation like this type. And then actually this is, according to equation 9, this is actually minus surface excess. So this is the equation of the surface excess, and if this activity of the solute is replaced by its concentration for a dilute solution, then you will get an equation like this. And this is equation number 11, which is this is actually, there should be equation number 11. This equation number 11 is actually known as the Gibbs adsorption equation. Okay. Now take the case of the of this preliminary experimental fact, where surface tension increases with increase in concentration and surface tension decreases with increase in concentration. These two factors, this is known as negative adsorption and this is positive adsorption. Okay, here the surface concentration is lower, and here the surface concentration is higher. Okay, therefore if according to this relationship, if d gamma by dC2, C2 means the concentration of the solute, is negative, that means this one, then surface excess is positive and this is greater than 0, and definitely the surface concentration should be higher. That is in case of soap or detergent, where surface tension decreases with concentration, their surface concentration is greater than that in the bulk. Okay, and similarly the vice versa. That means if d gamma by dC2 is positive, that means there is negative adsorption takes place. So this factor, this experimental fact, is very much well explained by the Gibbs adsorption equation. So that's all for today's class. Thank you.